Hi all, welcome to your channel Competitive Pedia. Today we are going to discuss current affairs of February 3rd week. So let's begin with the session. First question, how many airports have been selected for Voice of Customer Recognition under the World Voice of Customer Initiative of Airports Council International? So answer is option D, 7 airports. Clear? Now, 7 airports have been selected for Voice of Customer Recognition under the World Voice of Customer Initiative of Airports Council International. Now the airports are Chennai, Goa, Kolkata, Patna, Pune, Chandigarh and Bhubaneswar, and these all have participated in Airport Service Quality Survey of 2021. Now, what is Voice of Customer Initiative? So it is initiated by Airports Council International, okay, and it recognizes airports that are committed in ensuring that their customer voices are heard and continued to prioritize their customers even during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, what is ASQ survey? Airport Service Quality Survey. So it is conducted by Airports Council International, and it is a world-renowned global benchmarking program that measures passenger satisfaction while they travel through an airport. Now, Airports Council International. Now, it is an international body that represents world's airport authorities. It creates unified industry practices standards at international level. Now, this Airport Council International was founded in 1991 and its headquarters is in Montreal, Canada. Clear? Now, Airports Authority of India, AAI. So it is a statutory body which comes under the ownership of Directorate General of Civil Aviation, Ministry of Civil Aviation, and it manages 137 airports, which includes 81 domestic airports, 34 international, 10 custom and 23 civil enclaves at defense airfields. Okay. Now moving towards next question. India and Australia have set up an aggressive dash day timeline for finalizing early harvest agreement before finalizing a full-fledged free trade agreement. So they have come with an aggressive 30-day timeline. Option C is your answer, 30. Okay. So India and Australia have set up an aggressive 30-day timeline for finalizing early harvest agreement, which is a precursor to FTA, or we can say Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement. Now, what are the common points of the agreement? The common points are as follows. Keeping education at the center stage of negotiation, both countries are looking at mutual recognition of educational qualification. Now, this is the fastest way of negotiating free trade agreement ever done by India or by Australia with large economies. And one more important point, that India has kept dairy items and agricultural items out of early harvest agreement. Now, what is this early harvest agreement? So it is an agreement between the two countries, or we can say regional trading blocs, which liberalizes tariffs on certain goods before a comprehensive agreement, or we can say free trade agreement. Now, trade relations between India and Australia. So in financial year 2021, Australia was India's 15th largest trading partner. Clear? And items of export to Australia were medicines, petroleum products, gold, jewelry, polished diamonds and apparels. And India imported items from Australia were non-monetary gold, coal and alumina. In the services sector, the major Indian export were government and financial services, telecom and computer and travel. And Australian services exports were personal related travel and education. Clear? moving towards next question. Which of the following countries is not part of Quad? Your answer is option D, China. It is not a part of Quad. Yeah. So, foreign ministers of Australia, India, Japan, and the Secretary of State of the US met in Melbourne, Australia for the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting. Now, it is the fourth Quad ministerial meeting. In this meeting, the ministers condemn the 2008 Mumbai attack as well as Pathankot air base attack in 2016. They also express grave concerns over the situation of Myanmar following last year's military coup. Quad partners have also resolved to boost up delivery of more than billion COVID vaccines to be manufactured in India at Biological E Limited facility. They also strengthen the efforts to ensure maritime security in the Indo-Pacific region. They have announced plans for a Quad summit including PM Modi, Australian PM Morrison and US President Biden. And this Quad summit would be hosted in the first half of 2022 by Japan's PM Kishida in Tokyo. Clear? Now, what is the full form of Quad? It is Quadrilateral Security Dialogue. It is an informal grouping of 4 countries, which is Australia, India, Japan and the US, and with a shared objective of ensuring and supporting a free, open and prosperous Indo-Pacific region. Clear? What is the aim of Quad? The aim of Quad is to counter China's aggressive behavior in Indo-Pacific region. Now let's talk about some facts. Idea to form Quad was first mooted in 2007 by Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. The foreign ministers of the 4 countries held their first meeting under Quad framework in New York in September 2019. Yeah. No. Next, consider the following statement. Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership was first introduced during 19th ASEAN Summit in Bali, Indonesia in November 2011. And B statement, India was a member of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Drafting Committee in 2011. Now, which of the above statements are correct? So, both are correct. Option 3 is your answer. Clear? RCEP. Now, RCEP full form is Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. It is a free trade agreement among Asia Pacific nations, which are Australia, Brunei, China, Cambodia, Japan, Indonesia, Laos, South Korea, Myanmar, Malaysia, Philippines, New Zealand, Thailand, Singapore and Vietnam. So these are 15 countries. Now these 15 member countries of RCEP account for around 30% of the world's population and 30% of the global GDP. And it is the first free trade agreement involving the largest economies of Asia, including China, Japan, Indonesia and South Korea. Now what is the aim of this RCEP? Making products and services available to the ASEAN member states and FTA partners, free trade agreement partners, and to do away with the range of tariffs within 20 years. Clear? And RCEP was first introduced during the 19th ASEAN Summit in Bali, Indonesia in November 2011. And India initially was a member of the RCEP Drafting Committee in 2011. However, in 2019, India opted out of the agreement, citing some concerns that were left unaddressed. In 2019, India opted out from the RCEP agreement. Now, what is the current news? The current news is that the Philippine Senate has postponed the ratification of RCEP after farmers and other civil society groups in the country took cue from India's decision to stay out of RCEP. So, Philippine state has postponed the ratification of RCEP. It is the current news. Now, what are the countries that have signed RCEP in 2020? So, they are Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and Brunei. And the trading partners of China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. They have signed the RCEP in 2020. Keep this also in mind. Clear? Now, next question. Which country has passed a legislation ending forced arbitration in sexual assault and harassment disputes at workplaces? So, answer is option A, US. Clear? Now, the US Congress passed a legislation ending forced arbitration in sexual assault and harassment disputes at workplaces. Now, what are the provision of the bill? The bill seeks to allow survivors to sue their abusers in public court even if they have signed employment agreements which require them to settle disputes through an arbitrator internally. Now, the bill will have retroactive effect. The bill nulls pre-dispute arbitration agreement as well as pre-dispute joint action waiver. Now, what is forced arbitration? So, employee contracts often comprises of a compulsory arbitration clause that do not allow them to say in public about workplace disputes like sexual harassment or racial discrimination. Okay, it restricts employees from pursuing legal action publicly, and it allows companies to settle disputes through an arbitrator internally. Clear? Now, talking about some facts. This bill was first introduced in 2017 in Congress by Senator Christian Gillibrand in the backdrop of #MeToo case at Fox News. And the case was between former anchor of Fox News Gretchen Carlson and CEO of Fox News Roger Ailes. Next. Which ministry launched the SMILE, full form Support for Marginalized Individuals for Livelihoods and Enterprise scheme on 12th Feb 2022? So, launched by option A, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Yeah. Now, SMILE is a central sector scheme. It was launched by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. The scheme has been designed for providing welfare measures to transgender community and people engaged in begging. Okay, and the full form of SMILE is Support for Marginalized Individuals for Livelihood and Enterprise. Next question. Which of the following countries is hosting One Ocean Summit 2022? So the country is hosting is your France is your answer. Okay, summit. Now, the One Ocean Summit was organized from February 9 to February 11, 2022 by France in cooperation with the World Bank and the United Nations in Brest. France में एक जगह है Brest वहाँ. Now, what are the importance of oceans? The ocean covers more than 70% of the surface of our planet. It is a regulator of major environmental balances and climate. It is a provider of resources and an important enabler of trade. It nurtures unimaginable biodiversity, supports human well-being through food, mineral and energy resources, and provides cultural and recreational services. This is the importance of ocean. Now, what is the problems in the current scenario? Oceans are now seriously threatened by numerous reasons. These are effects of climate change, pollution and over-exploitation of marine resources. Now, what is the objective of this summit? So, it aims at mobilizing the international community to take tangible action to support and preserve healthy and sustainable ocean ecosystem. Now, during the summit, UNESCO announced that at least 80% of the seabed will be mapped by 2030 with support of its member states and private sector. Prior it was 20%, but in this summit it has been enhanced to 80% by 2030. Now, Decade of Ocean Science. United Nations has designated the decade between 2021 and 2030 as the decade of ocean science for sustainable development. Keep this in mind also. And United Nations Ocean Conference. So this conference was hosted by the governments of Fiji and Sweden in June 2017 in New York. The theme of that was Our Oceans, Our Future, partnering for implementation of Sustainable Development Goal 14. Now what is SDG 14? Sustainable Development Goal 14 aims to manage and protect marine and coastal ecosystem. Now what was the motive of this conference? To mobilize action for conservation and sustainable use of the seas, oceans and marine resources. Now, next, the Central Bureau of Investigation has booked Abg Shipyard Limited in its biggest bank fraud case. So where is the headquarter of Abg Shipyard Limited? It is in Mumbai, option A. So the Central Bureau of Investigation has booked Abg Shipyard Limited, its then chairman and MD Rishi Kamalesh Agrawal along with others. Now what is the Abg Shipyard case? This have been booked for cheating a consortium of banks led by State Bank of India of more than rupees 22,842 crores. Of this, Abg Shipyard owes rupees 7,089 crores to ICICI Bank, 3,639 crores to IDBI Bank and 2,925 crores to the State Bank of India among others. Clear? Now what is the issue? According to the forensic audit between 2012-17, the accused colluded together and committed illegal activities like misappropriation, diversion of funds and criminal breach of trust. Funds were used for other purposes than for which banks released. Clear? Now, what is Abg Shipyard Limited? It is a Mumbai-based shipbuilding company. It was established in 1985. It has shipbuilding operation in Dahej and Surat in Gujarat. It also possesses ship repair unit in Goa. It is one of the largest private shipbuilding companies in India with a capacity to manufacture vessels up to 20 tons in weight. Clear? Next. Who has been re-elected German president for a second term of 5 years by Special Parliamentary Assembly in Feb 2022? So the answer is option B, Frank-Walter Steinmeier. Yeah. So a Special Parliamentary Assembly re-elected German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier for a second term of 5 years. Now who is President Frank-Walter Steinmeier? He is a member of Social Democratic Party of Germany. He became the president in 2017. Before that, he served 2 stints as foreign minister of Chancellor Angela Merkel and as chief of staff to Chancellor Gerhard Schröder. Now, tenure of German president. He is elected for 2 consecutive 5-year terms. Clear? Now, German president power. German presidents have little executive power. They aspire to be important moral authorities. They are the head of the state. They sign bills into law and represent Germany in various ceremonies both inside and outside the country. Now, Germany has a parliamentary system of government where Chancellor is the head of the government. So, Germany mein Chancellor is the head of the government and President is the head of the state. And the current German Chancellor is Olaf Scholz. This is the answer. Next. India delivered medical supplies to which Pacific Island nation for dealing with the first outbreak of COVID-19 in Feb 2022? So answer is option A, Kiribati. Clear? As per the Ministry of External Affairs, India delivered medical supplies to Kiribati to deal with the first outbreak of COVID-19. The consignment contained emergency COVID-19 medication, pulse oximeters, and personal protective equipment kits. Yeah. Now, Kiribati. Kiribati is an independent island nation in the Central Pacific Ocean. The state comprises 32 atolls and one raised coral island, Banaba. The capital of Kiribati is Tarawa and the current president is Taneti Mamau. Now, India-Kiribati relation. India's relation with Kiribati are cordial and cooperative. India and Kiribati established their diplomatic relations in 1985. The High Commission of India in Suja, Fiji is accredited to Kiribati. Both are republics in the Commonwealth of Nations. Kiribati has been supportive of India's candidature for various international organizations and it had co-sponsored the G4 resolution on the reform of the United Nations Security Council in 2005. Now, trade between Kiribati and India. The trade between both the countries increased from 2,60,000 US dollar in 96-97 to 1.01 million US dollar in 14-15. India exported $1 million worth of goods to Kiribati, which include sugar and confectionery, pharma, plastics, non-railway vehicle parts, and imports from Kiribati were plastics worth of 10,000 US dollar. Next question. The Hippocratic Oath, a centuries-old code of ethics, is related to practitioners of which field worldwide? So, it is related with medical field. Option B is your answer. Yeah. So, the National Medical Commission, which is the regulator for medical education and practices in India, has suggested replacing Hippocratic Oath with Charak Shapath during the convocation of medical graduates. Now, what are the concerns of IMA for this regarding this? So, the Indian Medical Association has come out against the suggestion of National Medical Commission. They said Charak Shapath was not made from the viewpoint of modern medicine. The proposed oath will lead to exclusion of modern medicine from the global community and it will drag the medical sector backward. Now, what is Hippocratic Oath? It is an ethical ode for fresh medical graduates. It is believed to be written by ancient Greek physician Hippocrates. It outlines the professional duties of physicians and affirms ethical principles of the global medical profession. IMA, Indian Medical Association. It is a national voluntary organization of physicians in India. It is a society registered under the Societies Act of India. It was established as All India Medical Association in 1928 and in 1930 it was renamed as the Indian Medical Association. It is a national level and it looks after the well-being and interest of doctors and the medical fraternity. Now on the world level there is World Medical Association which was established on 18 September 1947. It is now grown to 150 National Medical Association as of 2021. The headquarters of World Medical Association is in France and the current president is Dr. David Barbe. And who was Charak? Charak was the father of Ayurveda. Now, next. The West Bengal governor prorogued the assembly using his powers under which article of the constitution? It is your article 174. Option is your answer. Now, the West Bengal governor Jagdeep Dhankad prorogued the assembly using his powers under article 174 of the constitution. Now, what is the meaning of prorogue? Okay, it is discontinuing the session of parliament or state legislative assembly. This does not involve dissolving the assembly. Okay. Now, articles regarding this. Article 174. It provides power to the governor to summon, prorogue and dissolve the legislative assembly. he can do so only based on conditions as mentioned in Article 163. What is Article 163? Governor should act based on the advice of the Chief Minister and the Council of Ministers. Clear? Now, Supreme Court on Governor Discretionary Powers. In a 2016 verdict of the Supreme Court in the Naban Rabia case, which we know as Arunachal Pradesh case, the court stated that power does not lie in the hands of the governor totally. A governor can summon, prorogue and dissolve the house only on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. Yeah. Next question. The government of India is planning to sell what percent of its share in LIC's upcoming IPO? It is your 5%. Clear? So, LIC plans to sell 316.25 million shares, which is about 5% of its total equity base. Now, the total equity base of LIC is 6.32 billion shares. And with this IPO, the government is trying to raise rupees 65,000 crores. Clear? Now, about the IPO, in this IPO, 10% of the shares are being reserved for eligible policyholders. 5% of the shares are being reserved for LIC employees and 35% of the shares are to be reserved for retail investors. And with this IPO, the government of India is trying to achieve its disinvestment target. Okay. In the fiscal year 21-22, the disinvestment target was 2.1 lakh crores, but it could not be achieved. Now the fiscal year 22-23, the disinvestment target is rupees 78,000 crores. Now what is IPO? Initial Public Offering. The IPO is providing the shares of private corporation to the public. In other words, we can say an IPO is the selling of securities to the public in the primary market. The company which issues shares to the public is referred to as the issuer. And the fund raised through IPO is used in further expansion of the business. Next. Who among the following Chief Justice of Nepal has faced impeachment proceedings in Feb 2022? Answer is option A, Cholendra Samsher Rana. Okay, here is the pick. So, Cholendra Samsher Rana is the second Chief Justice of Nepal to face impeachment in 7 years. 98 MPs of Nepal Parliament have signed the motion. These MPs belong to the Congress party of the country, Maoist and Unified Socialist country. Now, the Communist Party is the current opposition party in the Nepal. Keep in mind. Now who is the acting Chief Justice of Nepal? Deepak Karki, the senior most judge in the Supreme Court of Nepal, has taken over this position. He is now the acting Chief Justice of Nepal. Now, Chief Justice of Nepal, he is appointed by the President of Nepal. His term is of 6 years. He is the head of the judicial branch of Nepal. Like the Chief Justice of India, the Nepal Chief Justice also has the power to allocate cases to different benches at his will. Now, Nepal Constitution about impeachment. Only 25% votes of the total strength of the House is sufficient to suspend the Chief Justice. So, look how it is simple. And the rule in other democracies, the Parliament forms a committee. The committee conducts investigation on the charges filed against the Chief Justice. But in Nepal, only 25% votes of the total strength of the House is sufficient. Next. Canadian Prime Minister invokes emergency powers in order to bring an end to Tucker-led protest against COVID health rules. Now, who is the PM of Canada? Answer is option B, Justin Trudeau. Clear? Now, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau invoked emergency powers on 14th Feb 2022 to bring an end to the protest against COVID health rules. Now, what are the reasons for invoking emergency powers? as hundreds of big rigs clogged the streets of Ottawa and the two border crossings, which paralyzed parts of the capital. And second, these blockades are harming the economy and endangering public safety. Now, when was the Emergency Act last used? This is the second time in Canadian history that such powers have been invoked in peacetime. Lastly, the Emergency Act was used by Perry Trudeau, the father of Justin Trudeau, and also the former Prime Minister of Canada in 1970. It was called October Crisis. So first it was introduced by his father and now by his son. Now, what is Freedom Convoy? The Freedom Convoy is a series of protests and blockades ongoing in Canada. It was started on January 22, 2022 by the Canadian truckers against COVID-19 vaccine mandates and restrictions. Originally, the protest was against the need of vaccination for crossing the United States border, which later on involved in the COVID-19 restriction in general. So the protest name is Freedom Convoy. Who among the following authority is mandated with the implementation of Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana? So the authority is option A, National Health Authority. Yeah. So the National Health Authority is working to integrate Socio-Economic Caste Census 2011 beneficiaries database with the National Food Security Act portal. Now this will help the beneficiaries in seeking information on their entitlement under Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana using their ration card number. The National Health Authority is also working on a proposal to use ration shops or fair price shops for providing information related to the schemes as well as entitlement under the scheme to eligible beneficiaries. Clear? Now what is Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana? So Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana was launched on September 23, 2018. It provides health insurance of up to rupees 5 lakh per family per year. The insurance cover secondary and tertiary care related hospitalization. Under the scheme, 10.74 crore beneficiary families have been identified from the socio-economic caste census of 2011. Now, how this integration will be done? As per the Health Ministry, Aadhaar is a common identity across the majority of government database and it will enable the integration of caste census database. Okay. So, with the help of Aadhaar, the integration will be done. Now, what is National Health Authority? So, National Health Authority is mandated with the implementation of the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana at a national level. First, it was National Health Agency, which was reconstituted as National Health Authority in January 2019. Yeah. Next question. Which High Court struck down the law that banned online gaming in Feb 2022? Answer is your Karnataka High Court. So, the Karnataka High Court struck down provision of Karnataka Police Amendment Act 2021 that had banned online games. The division bench was headed by Chief Justice Rituraj Avasthi and Justice Krishna S. Dikshit. A writ of mandamus was issued to restrain the respondent, which is Karnataka Police, from interfering with the online gaming business and allied activities of the petitioners. Now, what is the Karnataka Police Amendment Bill 2021? So, Karnataka Police Amendment Act 2021 ban all forms of online gambling games involving any kind of wagering, betting and gambling in the state. Under the new Amendment Act, online and skill games were considered a non-bailable offence, and it provides for a fine of rupees 1 lakh and imprisonment up to 3 years. Now, what are skill games? Skill games are classified by law as those that require human cognizance to be excelled at, and they differ from those that are purely based on luck. Now, skill games enjoy constitutional protection of trade and commerce under Article 9, subsection 1, Roman clause G of the Constitution. Yeah. Now, states which had earlier banned online gambling games, they were Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Punjab. But later it was reversed by the court. Now, concerns regarding new law. According to the Internet and Mobile Association of India, the new law by the government will dent Karnataka's image as a startup hub. The Gaming Federation also has cited the online gaming industry investment to the tune of rupees 3,000 crore, especially through startups in Karnataka. Now, with the initiation of this law, the state exchequer will witness a huge revenue deficit. Yeah. Now, Attorney General Office of Texas sued Meta's Facebook after alleging that it has violated state privacy protection with facial recognition technology in Feb 2022. Who is the Attorney General of Texas? Answer is option A, Ken Paxton. Clear? So, the new lawsuit was filed in a state court in Marshall, Texas by the Attorney General Office of Texas, which has accused Facebook of capturing biometric information from videos and photos that users uploaded without consent and disclosing it to others through its facial recognition technology. As per the lawsuit, it has been discovered that 20.5 million people in Texas have a Facebook account. Now, shutting down of facial recognition system. Facebook had announced in November 2021 to shut down a facial recognition system and to delete information of more than a billion people. It cited concerns on using technology and uncertainty over rules regarding its use. Who inaugurated the FinTech Open Month Summit in Feb 2022? So, done by option B, Ashwini Vaishnaw, current Minister of Railways. FinTech Open Month. FinTech Open Month is a first of its kind initiative that brings together the FinTech professionals and enthusiasts, regulators and industry leaders, startup community and developers on a common platform. What is the aim of this summit? To provide an opportunity to present breakthrough ideas with the potential to solve real world problems. The summit was inaugurated by Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw in the presence of Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog Dr. Rajiv Kumar. Now, theme of FinTech Month. The FinTech Month theme was open with an aim to achieve three key objectives. First, encourage an open ecosystem across the fintech industry, foster co-innovation and growth, and third, ensure financial inclusion and leverage new models to unleash the next wave of fintech innovation. Now, this summit was organized by Niti Aayog in collaboration with PhonePe, Amazon Web Series and Ernst & Young in order to showcase the importance of fintech industry. Yeah. Next, who launched the Paramarsh 2022 Career Counseling Workshop for school children in Bikaner district region? So, it was launched by option A, Arjun Ram Meghwal. Here is the pic. Clear? So, Shri Arjun Ram Meghwal, Minister of State for Culture and Parliamentary Affairs, launched the Paramarsh 2022 Career Counseling Workshop for school children in the Bikaner district region. Now about the workshop, 1 lakh students from over 1,000 schools across the Bikaner district, which are mostly from rural areas, took part in this workshop. In this workshop, besides teacher training and career workshop for students, it also include an online and offline career evaluation as well as access to Edu Milestones digital career library for all participating students. Students from both government and private schools will get advice from professionals in a variety of fields which include policy planning, business, art, industry association, journalism, culture, architecture, health, finance, biotech and marketing. Okay. Now, for smooth execution of the program, about 1,000 teachers were educated as career ambassadors in all Bikaner schools prior to this career counseling event. Who is the organizer of the workshop? The workshop was organized with the help of National Institute of Career Service, which comes under the Ministry of Labour and Employment, and Edu Milestone, which is an educational startup. Rajasthan's Directorate of Education also provided support for this workshop. What is the aim of this workshop? To bridge the industry academic divide and educate students about the different options available to them. Now, have a look on this NICS, National Institute of Career Service. It was established in October 1964. It is engaged in publishing of career literature, issues related to self-employment promotion, and ongoing research into the employment markets. In 2015, Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the NCS portal, and the portal provides employment services as well as career counseling content. Yeah. Next. The Defence Expo 2022, it's scheduled to be held from 10th March to 13th March 2022 in, so it is in Gujarat, Gandhinagar, Defence Expo 2022. So, the 12th edition of Biennial Defence Exhibition, Defence Expo 2022 is scheduled to be held from March 10 to 13th March 2022 in Gandhinagar, Gujarat for the first time. The event had received confirmation from more than 900 exhibitors, from which 800 exhibitors are from India, while other 100 are from 55 nations. Hence, making it the largest since 1996. It was started in 1996. Aim of Defence Expo 2022. Showcasing the growth of India's domestic defence industry and how policy intervention by the government have encouraged participation of domestic players. Theme of Defence Expo 2022, celebrating 75 years of India's independence, and the main message for the expo is Path to Pride. Yeah. Now, second India-Africa Defence Dialogue. The second edition of the India-Africa Defence Ministers Conclave will be one of the highlights of the Defence Expo 2022. The first edition of the conclave involving African countries was held at Lucknow during the last Defence Expo in 2022, and this is the second edition of the India-Africa Dialogue Conclave. Some points to remember: the US Pavilion has booked the largest space in this Defence Expo. On the other hand, from India, Adani and Tata will have the largest stalls. The government has also invited venture capitalists for the exhibition, who will look at the possibility of making investments in defence startups. And for MSME, in order to encourage the participation of micro, small and medium enterprises from the defence sector, a 50% discount has been offered. Next, according to a new set of rules notified by the Union Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, children under which age must wear a helmet and safety vest when riding a two-wheeled vehicle. So it is your under the age of 4. Clear? Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Government of India. So the Union Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has notified a new set of rules according to which children under the age of 4 must wear a helmet and safety vest when riding a two-wheeled vehicle. Clear? The new rules limit the speed of two-wheelers carrying a child below the age of 4 to 40 km per hour. Children must wear a safety vest that securely attaches them to the driver. Now, what are the specifications of safety vest? Lightweight, adjustable, waterproof and durable, made of nylon and designed to hold weight up to 30 kg. Now, when will this act come into effect? These rules will come into force within a year from the date of publication of the Central Motor Vehicles Second Amendment Rules 2022. Yeah. Now have a look on some important current affairs in short. First is Paul Henry Sandago Damiba has been declared president of which country? So Paul Henry Sandago Damiba has been declared president of the African country Burkina Faso. He is a lieutenant colonel in the National Armed Forces of Africa. Clear? Next. Former chairman of Bajaj Auto Rahul Bajaj passes away. He was awarded Padma Bhushan in. So, noted industrialist and former chairman of Bajaj Auto Rahul Bajaj has passed away due to pneumonia and a heart problem. He was awarded Padma Bhushan, which is the third highest civilian award in 2001. Security Printing and Minting Corporation of India Limited SMPCIL function under the aegis of which institution? So it comes under Ministry of Finance. The Security Printing and Minting Corporation of India Limited is a government printing and minting agency. It functions under the Ministry of Finance. Okay. Recently, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman launched the first color souvenir coin on Panchatantra on the occasion of the 17th Foundation Day of Security Printing and Minting Corporation of India Limited. Okay, so Silver coin of Panchatantra launched on the 17th Foundation Day of SMPCIL by Nirmala Sitharaman, Finance Minister. Government of India bans how many apps of Chinese origin in Feb 2022? The Government of India has banned 54 apps of Chinese origin, citing security concerns. The apps were banned by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and one of the biggest name in the list is Garena Free Fire Illuminate. Okay, and it has been done under Section 69A of the Information Technology Act 2000. It provides the government the power to issue direction for blocking public access of any information through any computer resource. Rank of India in the 2021 Democracy Index report. So India is ranked 46 on the EIU's Democracy Index report, and India has scored 6.91 and ranked 46th. In the top two spot, Norway and New Zealand got the top 2 places, while North Korea, Myanmar, Afghanistan were placed at the bottom. Now India has lowest score of 5 on political culture and highest score of 8.61 on electoral process and pluralism. World Health Organization launches Quit Tobacco app. So World Health Organization Southeast Asia region has launched a Quit Tobacco app. Now this app will help people in giving up the use of tobacco in all forms, including smokeless and other newer products. The app was launched by Dr. Poonam Khetrapal Singh, who is the Regional Director of WHO Southeast Asia region. Yeah. Who will be the brand ambassador of Khadi and other handicrafts of Bihar? Manoj Tiwari, Bhojpuri singer and BJP MP, will be the brand ambassador of Khadi and other handicrafts of Bihar. Okay. Bihar CM Nitish Kumar and Governor Fagu Chauhan. Luc Montagnier, who passed away recently, won the Nobel Prize for Medicine for which discovery? So he won the Nobel Prize for Medicine in 2008 for the discovery of the human immunodeficiency virus that causes AIDS, along with his colleague Francois Barré-Sinoussi. Yeah. Which private sector lender has launched the Agri Infinity program? Private sector lender Yes Bank has launched an Agri Infinity program for digital financing solution in the food and agricultural sector ecosystem by mentoring entrepreneurial ventures in this field. So this Yes Bank has launched Agri Infinity program. Yes Bank was founded in 2004. CEO is Prashant Kumar and headquarters in Mumbai. Which institution hosts the World Sustainable Development Summit? So the Energy and Resources Institute, TERI, hosted the latest edition of the World Sustainable Development Summit. Theme was Towards a Resilient Planet, Ensuring a Sustainable and Equitable Future. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has inaugurated the summit. Who has been appointed as India's first National Maritime Security Coordinator? So retired Vice Admiral G. Ashok Kumar has been appointed as India's first National Maritime Security Coordinator by the government. The main task that is given to the National Maritime Security Coordinator is to make coordination among the Indian Navy, the Coast Guard, security agencies, those tangled in coastal and maritime security, and 13 coastal states and UTs. So G. Ashok Kumar is the first National Maritime Security Coordinator. Which institution has organized Darkathon 2022 initiative to find solution to counter dark net markets? So Narcotics Control Bureau NCB has organized Darkathon 2022 initiative to find solutions to counter dark net markets. The initiative aims at involving students, youth and technical experts to find effective solution to counter drug trafficking through darknet. Now, Narcotics Control Bureau is a law enforcement and intelligence agency under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay, it is US. Okay, so US Bangladesh to conduct joint exercise COPE South 22. The air forces of the US and Bangladesh will conduct a joint airlift exercise COPE South 22 at Bangladesh Air Force Kurmitola Cantonment, Dhaka. The exercise has been sponsored by Pacific Air Forces. So name of exercise is COPE South 22 between US and Bangladesh Air Forces. Medaram Jatra is a fair celebrated in which Indian state? So Medaram Jatra is the second largest fair of India after Kumbh Mela, and it is celebrated by the Koya tribal community of Telangana for 4 days. Now the Ministry of Tribal Affairs has sanctioned rupees 2.26 crores for various activities related to Medaram Jatra 2022, and it has been held in Telangana. Which union ministry launched the New Frontiers program as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav? The Ministry of New and Renewable Energy is conducting a 3-day program, New Frontiers on Renewable Energy. A brainstorming meeting on roadmap to achieve net zero carbon emission by 2070 will also be conducted. So it has been done by New and Renewable Energy, the New Frontiers program. India signed a letter of intent on new and renewable energy technology with which country? So India and Australia, okay, India and Australia have signed a letter of intent on new and renewable energy technology. It aims to scale up manufacturing and deployment of ultra low cost solar and clean hydrogen. Who has won the 2021 FIFA World Cup Championship? The English club Chelsea has defeated Brazilian club Palmeiras to win the 2021 FIFA Club World Cup final. So it has been won by Chelsea. Okay. And the final was held at Mohammedan bin Zayed Stadium, Abu Dhabi. Iker IC, former Turkish Airlines chairman, has been appointed as the MD and CEO of which Indian Airlines? So, the Tata Group has appointed Iker IC, former Turkish Airlines chairman, as Air India's managing director and CEO. So, he is Air India's MD and CEO, Iker IC. Okay, keep in mind, is very important. Which institution launched an agroecology based program named Jiva? So the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD, recently launched an agroecology based program Jiva. It aims to promote natural farming under NABARD's watershed and Wadi programs in 11 states, covering 5 agroecological zones, and it also aims to nudge the farming community towards natural farming. So main aim is bringing towards natural farming. Jiva. Which Indian state has the highest number of killings as part of witch hunting as per NCRB? So the number of killings as a part of witch hunting is the second highest in Odisha after Jharkhand, according to National Crime Records Bureau. So after Jharkhand, first in Jharkhand and second highest in Odisha. Now, some important more news. Haryana team defeated the Indian Railways to win men's title in the Senior National Volleyball Championship 21-22. So in men's Senior National Volleyball Championship, Haryana team has won for 22-21, and in women's category, the Kerala team defeated the Indian Railway to win the trophy, and the event was held at the Biju Patnaik Indoor Stadium, Bhubaneswar. Clear? The board of Tata Sons Private Limited has approved the reappointment of N. Chandrasekharan as the executive chairman of the company for the second 5-year terms. So N. Chandrasekharan has been reappointed as the executive chairman of Tata Sons. Clear? On some important days: World Radio Day, held in 13th Feb, and the theme is Radio and Trust. Second, National Women's Day. It is celebrated in 13th Feb in memory of birth anniversary of Sarojini Naidu. National Productivity Day, 13th February. Theme is Self-Reliance Through Productivity. International Epilepsy Day. It has been held on 2nd Feb of February, and this month it was 14th Feb. International Childhood Cancer Day on 15th Feb, and the theme is Better Survival is Achievable #through your hands. Okay. Now have a look on some important books and authors. Dignity in a Digital Age, Making Tech Work for All of Us, written by Ro Khanna. Humane, How the United States Abandoned Peace and Reinvented War, by Samuel Moyen. And India-Africa Relations, Changing Horizons, by Rajiv Kumar Bhatia. So guys, this was for the day. I hope you like the video. If you like our channel, our video, please do subscribe and share with your friends. Happy learning from Competitive Pedia. May God bless you all. Thank you.